What's up guys, it's Aryan back with another video. It has been 3 years since OnePlus bursted onto the Android scene with the OnePlus One, a phone that gave us flagship specs at a budget phone price, with its only real issue being a frustrating invite-only system. The OnePlus 2 didn't exactly live up to its expectations due to issues from the Snapdragon 810 and the software that the phone ran, but this year OnePlus finally got it right with the OnePlus 3. We're going to talk about why I love this phone so much and what it did right. So right that it kicked out the Nexus 6P as my daily driver. This is the Tech Brothers OnePlus 3 review. If it wasn't for the shiny company logo on the back of the phone, you would think the OnePlus 3 is designed by HTC. It's got an all-aluminum unibody design with tactile and clicky power and volume rocker buttons. It's got capacitative home button, back button, and recent apps buttons on the bottom of the phone, USB-C port, and my personal favorite part of the build, the notification slider. So let's take a second to talk about the notification slider. It's a vertical switch that sits right above the volume rocker on the cell phone, and it's got 3 modes: total silent, priority notifications, and all notifications. This is so convenient to me because it means I don't have to turn on my phone in order to set it to do not disturb. OnePlus, thank you. One aspect of the phone that was clearly not designed by HTC is the speaker. It sits on the bottom of the phone, and we all know how those are. Is it loud? Yes. Is it okay? Yes. Does it beat the Nexus 6P or the HTC 10? No. So I don't know what you were doing here, OnePlus, but it's still a decent speaker for one that sits underneath the phone. Those speakers are not going to make it. But in all honesty, I can forgive OnePlus as far as the audio goes because when you look at the specs of the phone, it's clearly designed for performance. Here's what you're working with: the Qualcomm Snapdragon 820, Adreno 530 GPU, but here's the kicker: 6 gigs of RAM. 6 gigs of RAM. Yeah. So as you can expect, multitasking is an absolute breeze and the phone can handle anything you throw at it. Go ahead, try it. I dare you. No, but in all seriousness, guys, the performance on the OnePlus 3 is absolutely amazing. I use my phone for the basics like calling and text messaging, but I also use it for more advanced things like watching YouTube videos, web browsing, GPS navigation, playing music, and even playing games, and I haven't seen the OnePlus 3 hiccup or lag one time. So performance on the OnePlus 3 is absolutely top-notch. Now, another aspect of the OnePlus 3 that really helps its performance is the software. It doesn't come with stock Android, it actually comes with Oxygen OS, which is a custom ROM based on Android 6.0.1 Marshmallow. It looks and feels just like stock Android, but it's actually got some pretty useful software tweaks built right in. Some of the smaller tweaks include the ability to enable a system-wide dark theme, and even the ability to edit your quick settings toggles. And there's even gestures, like the ability to draw a V when your screen is off to turn on the flashlight, draw an O when your screen is off to open up the camera, and OnePlus even included my favorite gesture, which is double tap to wake the screen. All in all, this really helps build an amazing software experience. But just like with any Android software, there are downsides. And because this is a custom ROM, the length of time it actually takes to receive the latest version of Android all comes down to how quick the developers of Oxygen OS actually are to push the software out to the OnePlus 3 users. So, if you're someone who cares about timely Android updates, you probably should stick with the Nexus line, because as you probably know, Android Nougat was just recently announced, and that beta has been available to select Nexus users for over 2 months now. But now let's take a few seconds to talk about something that's ridiculously fast on the OnePlus 3, and I'm not talking about performance, I'm talking about the fingerprint sensor. Seriously guys, this thing is ridiculously fast. It's way faster than Nexus Imprint and Touch ID 2.0 found on the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus. And since the home button is capacitative and not physical, it saves you the extra step of having to push the button in order to unlock your phone. I can't tell you how many times I went to put the phone down or pull it out of my pocket and I found it unlocked because I accidentally put my thumb on the fingerprint sensor. Seriously, it's ridiculously fast. Now, OnePlus made an interesting choice when it comes to the screen. They opted for a 1920 by 1080p Full HD AMOLED screen as opposed to Quad HD, which you see on almost every company's flagship phones these days, especially in 2016. But I can definitely say that the screen is pretty amazing. Color reproduction is vivid and sharp, and honestly, you can't tell it's an HD 1080p screen unless you put it right next to a phone with a Quad HD display. And because it is a 1080p display, it's really good on battery life. Speaking of battery life, the OnePlus 3 is pretty solid in this department as well, considering it's sporting a slightly smaller battery pack with 3000 milliamp hours. I'm a pretty heavy power user, and I found myself consistently getting through a day's use with about 3.5 hours of screen on time. But the headline feature of power on the OnePlus 3 isn't about the battery pack itself, it's about its quick charge system known as Dash Charge. So here's the thing about Dash Charge. When compared to other phones with quick charge technology, Dash Charge provides a larger and much more stable electrical current thanks to a pretty bulky power brick. But what this means is your OnePlus 3 will charge consistently faster and consistently cooler when compared to other cell phones with quick charge technology. And another cool part of Dash Charge is the charging speed stays consistent whether you're using the phone while it's on charge or you're not using the phone while it's on charge. But all the technical stuff set aside, Dash Charge just plain works. I tested the speed of charging several times over my review period, and I consistently got over 60% of my battery back in just 30 minutes on power. And the cool part is, when you take the phone off charge, it's still cool to the touch. Dash Charge just works. The camera on the OnePlus 3 is also pretty solid. It's definitely not the best smartphone camera around, but it definitely holds its own. Pictures come out sharp and full of detail, colors are pretty accurate, but every now and then you'll run into some overexposure issues, mainly due to the camera's low dynamic range. But this is understandable considering it's not a professional DSLR camera. At the end of the day, it's a smartphone camera. But I can definitely say this, if you find yourself out with friends or out a night on the town and you only have the OnePlus 3 in your pocket, you can be pretty confident that you'll pull off some epic shots while you're out. Alright guys, so my final verdict on the OnePlus 3. Would I recommend it? Honestly, it's hard not to recommend it. The build is modern and beautiful. The fingerprint sensor is ridiculously fast. The performance is absolutely top notch. The screen is great. The camera is good, it's solid. The battery life, pretty good. Dash charging system, incredibly fast. If you can get past the weak audio because the speakers are on the bottom of the phone, and honestly, you're okay with the design of the OnePlus 3 and you're okay with it coming with Oxygen OS as opposed to stock Android so you don't get the fastest updates, you should give the OnePlus 3 strong consideration. At $399, which is almost half of most companies' flagship phones, it's incredibly hard to pass up. So if you're on the fence or you're looking to upgrade and get a new Android phone, I strongly recommend the OnePlus 3. Alright guys, that's it for my review and final verdict over the OnePlus 3. Like I said, if you're on the fence about getting the phone, you should definitely go for it. At $399, it can't be beat. Leave us comments down below. Let us know what you think about the OnePlus 3. Are you going to buy the OnePlus 3 or are you going to pass and wait for a new phone to come out? Hit the like and subscribe button, share with your friends, do all that wonderful stuff. Check in the description below. Get with us on social media. We're pretty awesome, I'm telling you. Besides that, guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Peace. Out. Why do you change it? Why do you say Uno? What is that?
I don't even know. Want it to be different this time.
Oh my god.